Nine wives, go watch, go watch, go watch. I just want to be ahead of the curve because this is going to be big news around about the summertime. Terence Crawford mandatories due November 19th. What is it, a year, right? Or he's going to get stripped. Who's going to pay for it? He won't be allowed to move up and fight Charlo. Al Heyman going to ignore that, and he's going to get stripped. It's a dirty game, y'all. It's a dirty game. And I remember on my show, y'all were saying, oh, Devin Haney needs to drop the belt. It's simple. That's a simple answer. Gary Russell need to throw the belt in the trash. That's a simple answer. What I told Bill Haney is, you don't need the belt. But if all the champions in the WBC formed a coup and put the WBC belt in the trash, you got action. See, I can attack boxing because before I got into boxing, I knew I was the matriarch. I always get them confused. Matriarch or patriarch of the Hawthorne legacy. And I knew, I don't care how much money I make, I knew that no matter what happens to me in boxing, I don't have no strings on me to control me. And here we are. Terence Crawford moved alone. He has no major allies in media. He has no major allies and promoters. He didn't create a team. I could. Do you understand? This is fun. This is fun telling the truth. You know what I mean? And helping out these fighters and trainers. This is fun. And ultimately the fans. This is fun. So here we are. We about to play now. We're going to play really hard. Because, like I said, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe this is a civil rights case. And I'll take my coon stamp. I don't. I don't believe it. Do I believe on a personal level? Do he feel like maybe he has some racial biases? Sure, but I read the documents. There is no social, they don't want social reform. They want money. Just like when George Floyd, when they got that payout, they didn't say, um, in addition to this payout, we want qualified immunity. That's the package. Colin Kaepernick sealed the court documents. And you ask, why is he training for an NFL team at a high school? The insurance is not going to cover at a high school. That was all a game. Colin Kaepernick, no, he can't walk into an NFL arena. It's all a game. Listen, this is just what I believe. You can't let them feed you, and then when they starve you, say everything is wrong. You can't. I've never been that person. When you wake up, you say something. That's it. When I woke up, I said something. That night, Keith Thurman, dad lied on me. And I'm sitting there talking to Tim Smith and I'm listening to this man lie on me. I said, PBC is business is more important than the truth. And then we played ping pong for about 6 months and then it was over. I don't have it much longer. Yeah, I thought it was the credentials. It wasn't the credentials. It was a year before the credentials. The credentials is just the most, uh, um, like polarizing moment. It wasn't a credential. It was long before that. I got confirmation. The Keith Thurman Manny Pacquiao fight. I didn't get confirmation then, but when you like, fuck everybody, fuck the world. Don't ask me for shit. Everything in the world, you got to work hard for it. But Terence Crawford, you up against it, dog. You lose that belt, you're irrelevant. Al Heyman will not. If think about this, y'all. See, because we're always too literal, right? We don't see the ties. If Al Heyman won't let him fight at 147, why would he let him fight at 54? Earl Spencer's the better boxer than Jamel. It's a different weight class, sure. But I think Jamel Charlo is a easier game strategy wise to prepare. Is an easier fight to prepare for than a Earl Spence. Tougher in game, I don't know. Tougher in ring, we say in game in basketball. Tougher in ring, maybe a little bit different. I don't know. But me on the outside looking in, I would say Earl Spence is a tougher opponent to game plan for. So Victor Ortiz and Jaron Ennis is sitting there at the WBO as a potential mandatory. Victor Ortiz 1, Jaron Ennis 2. Hmm. Here's how it's going to play out. It's going to be planned, y'all. All right? I'm just going to let you guys know in advance. One of them is going to get a fight, and they're going to be locked into a fight. Watch. And then the other one is going to say, oh, you're fighting for the title eliminator. Watch. You'll see. So whoever gets the second fight in the fall, more than likely will be for the title eliminator for Terence Crawford belt. Because let me tell you something. Oscar ain't risking the last few relationship he has. He's not. The little bit of money that he's getting from the zone and he has a deal over there in Mexico with the network. He ain't risking that. You know what I mean? He getting his money from his building downtown, and I'm sure he got some other investments that I have no idea what it is. And he's very comfortable. He's 55. I don't know. We're the same man. He's like a whole class ahead of me. So he's probably 48, 52, somewhere in there. I'm 44, so he's probably 4 to 6 years older than me. So he wants to stay comfortable. When you get in your 40s and you know you're approaching 50, you want a block of your life to be stable, especially financially. You want to know that no matter what happens in my life, I'm making $5,000 a month. And in Oscar's case, not only do I want the $5,000 a month, but I want the $5,000 worth of power that comes with it. He ain't throwing it away for one fight and or one fighter. And Cameron Duncan gonna sit back and be a red snapper. That's the impression I get from him, which is the right play. And he has independent money. Like Oscar got to share the wealth amongst his whole team, but he has 5 fighters, and he's just going to wait his turn. He's playing the game till he get the power. He's about 2 years away. Him and Brian Norman. Love you. Can't even open up the door, man. That's man. That kills you as a father, man. Kills you. Yeah, man. What was I talking about? Uh, I forgot what I was talking about, but I just want to hug my kids, man. Uh, but let's just talk about the mandatory. The mandatories. Uh, who's gonna pay for it? Al Heyman ain't giving up Charlo. He can't just move up and fight for a mandatory. He can't just move up and fight one of the PBC fighters. It don't work like that. That sounds too much like right. When foreigners come to America, you know what they learn? English. Germans don't come to Venice Beach and say, "You got in order to communicate with me, you got to speak German." If you want to understand this business of boxing, you got to learn to understand the language of the business of boxing. Al Heyman hanging on until he find another investor. He may find one, and people gonna call him a genius. He ain't a genius. It's a failed. It's a failed. It's a failed business venture. If Eddie Hearn failed and had to leave America, isn't Al Heyman a failure? Or are you gonna celebrate the 10 fighters that created generational wealth out of 268? About 10 fighters got have made generational wealth, Floyd included. You can stretch it to 15. Take 20 if you want. Take 30 out of $1 billion. You know what I mean? That's all you can produce. That's uh, so yeah. Be on the lookout for this. This is going to be a big topic in about 90 days. This is going to be a huge topic. When I say a huge topic in boxing, this is going to be a major topic in boxing in 3 to 5 months. It's too far away. Like, no one's putting pressure on the mandatory now, but he's going to have to start defending his belt. Bob going to make a call. Hey, Paco. Terence got to get off that belt. Simone. Un momento. Click. Hey, And that's going to be the reality of it. Do Terence Crawford have the infrastructure and the money to afford his mandatory? This is why you got to come up with a plan. You can't just react. React. You can't just react. No. I don't just react when I want to evict a tenant. You got to put yourself in position to be in fear for your life. That's the best way to get them evicted. You know what I mean? I was in fear for my life. I need a shit. Yeah. Yeah. Then they miss 2 days of work. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about them threatening your tenants and smoking weed. Well, I don't have those type of tenant problems. You know what I mean? Because you rather do you rather study for a test than have the anxiety of not studying for a test. You know what I mean? It's a big difference. So I don't have those anxieties, man. You know what I mean? But I've heard stories like that happen. But Terrence, you got to come up with a game plan, dog, because your mandatory is coming, and ain't no one gonna come. You ain't got no allies in this. You didn't nurture them. If if you would have told everybody what you were doing, your team, your crew, maybe you had something. I don't even see media members coming out and protecting you. You know, so I'll say it. You know, to defeat the system, man, you got to have a plan. To win a war, you got to have a plan, and there's gonna be casualties. Terrence Crawford may be the casualty. The ultimate winner in this may be Lorenzo Simpson, or it may be that amateur that's 14 years old dominating, or it may be in Cynthia's womb right now, Maria's womb. I don't know, but we are storming the beaches of Normandy right now. You ever see layers of a mountain? I'm looking at it. You know those pictures when your TV been frozen for a long time. Don't it look like prime rib sometimes when the layers and the cracks in the mountains? I would show you, but anyways, barbershop conversation. Maybe I just want something to eat, but I want a steak bad, and I want a Fleming steak with potatoes, and I'm gonna take my daughter out on a date. That's what I want to do. Take my daughter out on a date. You know what I mean? Fathers, teach your daughters the difference between a salad steak. I mean, a salad fork and a dinner fork. When I knew a girl didn't know the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork, I took her there to show her. And that would ensue that I would be there to teach her more things that she's never seen before. But when in reality, I just wanted you for one night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 3 months, you know? So that's the reality of it. So, anyways, barbershop conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.